Hello everyone, and welcome back to my channel. And today we're going to talk about NN Lee because her radar banner just came out. Normally I would tell you, like it's not very recommended to pull a standard radar character banner because it is not worth it. As you can see, if you pull, let's say you pull from Jessica banner, and once you get 6 star, there's a 50-50 chance that it will fail. Instead of getting Jessica, you'll get the character from the standard banner, like Centurion, and then is one of them. So people will just tell you, just wait until you fail the 50-50 and get NND anyway, right? So that's really true, I would say. But NND probably one of the exception because there's a lot of things in her kit that makes her very useful in battle. So that's why this time I will make an exception and say that NND banner, it's worth pulling, okay? So of course there are many different factors that affects your decision when you want to pull a character or not, okay? And the first thing is depends on what characters you already have. So let's take a look at my roster, for example, okay? I have a lot of DPS, I have a lot of support, and I have a lot of healers already. So, and then in my case, she's good to have, but she's not a must or she's not needed, right? Often people will tell you, if you ask people, they will tell you like, don't pull for ND now, okay? Just wait until 6. 6 is better. I'm just saying 6 example because 6 is really good. Often people will compare ND to 6 and they will tell you, just wait for 6, okay? Just wait for 6. But like when you look at your roster, you might only have a Knight and let's say Eternity, okay? And then you're struggling to finish even stories or like UTTU or events, and then you go like, oh, this game's not fun at all, it's boring, I hate it, and you quit the game. Yeah, even though what I tell you is not wrong, 6 is probably even better than NND, right? In many ways. But the problem is they look at too far ahead, okay? Because if you look at it right now, 6 doesn't come until, if you calculate it, it's like what? Another 80 days? So that's like a couple months down the road, like a lot of months, okay? So you will think about, like I wouldn't guarantee myself, I'm still playing this game like 80 days later, who knows, right? Something might happen, a better game comes or something. So sometimes I think a lot of people work too hard and look at too far ahead, especially we have the CN server to look at, right? So they look at too far ahead of time and then they forget you have to enjoy the game currently as well, right? So yeah, when you ask people for advice, you still have to judge yourself, okay? Okay, and another thing that might spark interest to pull NND is she will receive a free new skin in a couple patches down the road, okay? It's kind of rare to have a 6-star free skin, so I'm very impressed. So yeah, that's one of the factors that I pull NND because I want to enjoy her skin, okay? So yeah, so you still have to judge yourself, okay? Take other people's advice as reference and then make your decision. Okay, let's look at NND's skills, okay? So you'll have a little bit more understanding about her kits. It will help you decide like should you pull NND or not, okay? So first of all, NND is a 6-star plant type unit and she does reality damage. And her tier list is all S along across the board, okay? Whether it's in global, in the CN server, or overall, okay? And one good thing about NND is she's very splashable. Doesn't matter what team you have, she can just stuck in there and then she will support your team, okay? And she do a really good job with it. And look at her take right now. She have a very good control and she very good at supporting, and her damage is pretty good, okay? Very good. Okay, so let's look at her ultimate. And her ultimate is mass attack that deal 400% reality damage to all enemies. And the caster enter empower incantation 1 status for 2 rounds. And what this is when the round begins, a random incantation gains 1 star. Okay, so that's really good. Keep that in mind, okay? And one more thing I want to mention about this ultimate is it is the second hardest hitting AoE ultimate, okay? That hit everybody. The first one being A Knight, the second one's NND, okay? At P0, they both 400, but at P5, they both at 550%, and that's the highest. And the reason I say A9 is higher because A9 have a built-in penetration, so that will bring the number a little bit higher. And so this is the second hardest hitting AoE ultimate, okay. And okay, let's move on to her first incantation. Her first incantation is a single attack, and the scaling is 200, 300, 350%. And when you reach 3-star, it also dazes the opponent for 1 turn, okay? And then when you look at this, you might ask like, oh, but like 3-star is really hard to get. It might be true for other characters, but for NND, 3-star is pretty easy, okay? See, that's why here when we talk about empowerment incantation, randomly +1. And another thing is her insight, okay? So we'll look at it here. Her insight have the caster rightmost incantation +1 star. Okay, so if you want 3-star some cards, make sure that's on the rightmost cards, and then between this and this, 3-star for NND is easy. Another good thing about this is you can use the tuning to switch cards, right? So once you reach a 3-star card and go like, I don't want to use this, you can swap card to your other, maybe your main DPS, your healer, then they can heal better or DPS better, right? So that's what NND is good at, like plus cards. Her second incantation, it's a massive buff. It's a 15% damage increase and minus 15% damage taken for all your allies for 2 turns. And this 30% is very easy to get because all the plus cards, right? So, and it lasts 2 turns. If you don't need her to do damage, like she only need to maintain buff every 2 turns, so she can be very AP friendly. Okay, let's move back to her insights. Okay, the first insight, when you look at it, it's swap between break time and exorcism or attack time. And when the caster is in attack mode, the rightmost card will +1. And her insight 2 is very easy, just 8% damage increase. And then her insight 3 is enhanced break time effect. So the break time and the attack time both get enhanced. Okay, so the damage reduction in the break time is increased to 15% from 10% here, you can see. And then the same thing here, it's a 10% penetration and 10% damage bonus, it becomes 15%. Her insight 3 just some damage and defense increase, so it might not be the most priority, so people might just stop at her insight 2 for a while before finally move on to her insight 3. Okay, so that's something to think about. And her portrait, as a standard character, it's just some stats increase, so it's nothing important, so you don't really need her portrait. The reason I say you can pull from this banner, because even if you get NND from the fail 50-50 when you pull other characters, right? And it's always good anyway, right? See, let's say P1 increase her ultimate damage from, see, the first one from 400 to 450, and then P3 is 500 and 550, and it becomes one of the hardest hitting ultimate. Even if you get it, it doesn't hurt. That's why I say this might be an exception. Next, move on to the Psychube. The best Psychube, I would say, arguably, it's between her Second Life and Brave New World. And let's keep it simple. If you want more support, then pick her Second Life, because you can use NND's ultimate, it heals your entire team, so it is good. If you prefer all damage, then Brave New World will be the best options, and then the rest, just if you don't have this, you go this. Okay, so that's the Psychube options. If you still have trouble deciding that should you pull on NND's banner, then there's a solution for you. Just start pulling on her banner, and especially if you are really far away from the pity, okay, and work your way through it. And if you end up getting NND early, like myself, I got her in 40-ish pull, I got her. That's great. Okay, you get NND. If not, you are actually working towards, closer to the pity for your next rate up character anyway. So you didn't lose anything. That's the solution I can think of. And with that, it brings to the end of the video. And I hope you found this video helpful. And if you like the video, please don't forget to click and like my video and subscribe. I'll be really appreciated. I hope you have a good day, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.